Hey everyone, Brandon here from Goalorious. Today I'm super excited to talk with Leaf from DeFi Magic. Thanks, Leaf, for joining me today.
Hey, Brent, great to see you.
So DeFi Magic is a super interesting project, and it's a little complex. So that's why I wanted to bring you on to help talk about this. And first of all, great website. Everything I'm seeing here looks great and amazing. And it says DeFi Magic is a unique cross-chain DeFi ecosystem built upon a modular open framework whose code base is future-proof, easy upgradable, and continuously evolving. And I think a lot of things we were chatting earlier, there's definitely a bunch of things that are happening, and I'm super excited that you joined me today to talk about this.
Thanks, I'm excited to be here.
So maybe we could start, and this is your guys' homepage, and it's awesome. It's defimagic.io. Maybe we could talk a little bit about the tokenomics, talk about, like, I think the initial token is the dark magic token. Maybe a little bit talk about, like, the tokenomics behind that might be a good starting point.
Sure. So to kind of explain the ecosystem, the best way I could kind of dive into it is to explain there's like a fundamental mathematical principle that this is designed around, and that is that in crypto there's kind of one truth that I've seen over the many years, and that is greed is a driving force, right? I think everybody, we can kind of agree, like, the tech is awesome, but people kind of want to make money. So this system is designed around the idea of exactly that, and how to make it more, like, basically successful off of that greed. So the idea is that dark magic is a burning utility token. As the token is bought, sold, transferred, tokens burn off. This is something we're familiar with, but what we're not usually familiar with is the concept of utility and other ecosystems aside from itself. And what we do is that we actually have a team of developers. We've got we have 12 developers on our team that actively build out for not just ourselves, but partner projects. And our tokens are being integrated in a manner that is symbiotically beneficial in those ecosystems, and that kind of feeds value back to here while we feed value into those ecosystems, if that makes sense. We have a liquidity pool that I'm trying to think of how to explain this, but basically we have a liquidity pool that is locked, and it locks by way of the Drax and Nightbane token. So Drax is the liquidity wrapper token, which is also a farming token because you can farm with it. But Drax is a liquidity wrapping token for sushi swap decks on Polygon, and Nightbane is the equivalent but on QuickSwap. And when you wrap dark magic axmatic, and axmatic is the equivalent of matic, basically. You can swap 1-to-1 ratio anytime between matic and axmatic. When you wrap dark magic and axmatic together, you can basically get Drax tokens or Nightbane tokens. And the reason for this is because anyone who's done staking contracts, right, where you create liquidity and then you get your your uni v2 tokens or whatever, right? If you have 15 different staking pools you're in, you have 15 different uni tokens. And I don't know about you, but I can't tell the difference between, uni v39876 versus uni v42120, right? So What we did was we realized if you create an LP wrapper, you can name it something, which means it can be aggregated. It can be on CoinGecko, it can be on CoinMarketCap. And then what's really neat about it is that you can actually create a sub ecosystem or almost a separate project that works independently, but also inside of DeFi Magic. So Drax and Nightbane could have their own system with that token, but obviously then feeds value back into the dark magic. And as dark magic does well, it feeds value back. So I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but that's kind of how that ecosystem works. And because we have that locked liquidity that I mentioned, there's another function called a price for sweeper. And what that is, is effectively that as tokens go into the system and lock, the paired token axmatic, which I mentioned is backed by MATIC at a 1-to-1, you can only sell, like, basically once the tokens are locked into the liquidity, you can't sell tokens that are locked, right? Because you no longer have access to them. So the only tokens that can sell are tokens not in the liquidity. This means that we can actually sweep out or remove the MATIC from the liquidity pool that is locked paired to the dark magic, and then effectively market buy back dark magic and give it back to the community in various ways, like staking rewards and stuff like that. So there's kind of a lot of intricacies to this system, but it's all premised on the idea that as you're using the ecosystem and trying to focus on making yourself money, every single interaction you do is going to lead to making other people in the ecosystem money as well through basically utility and functionality.
Yeah. First of all, it sounds like you put a lot of thought and effort into this, which is awesome and great. For me, I'm new to in the cryptocurrency space, so some of these things went over my head a little, but I think that it's great. And I think for me, I think it's great that you're saying that every little thing that you do, whether it's with Drax, Nightbane, that it's generating me value, and if I'm participating in this ecosystem as well. So I think that just goes to show how much thought you put into this. And I know you shared graphs with me and etc., which help explain it. But even for me, it's a little I've seen some graphs and things like that, which I'm not gonna jump into right now, but I think that it's just great about, you said you had 12 developers working on this project, and I don't know if any project that has put that much time and effort into their like technical piece, and it definitely shows. So
thank you. Yeah, I know I can get really into it, but I love this ecosystem. I've been in crypto since
that's what I want. I like talking to you about. I mean, even if I'm only absorbing a percentage of it, it's great to see that there is people out there. I come from the technology background, and I'm in sales and things like that. I don't know what the team, my engineering team, works on, or the specifics of that, but it's great to know that the foundation of the projects that I'm invested in have really strong thought and effort into building this platform and ecosystem, which I think is great. For me, all this stuff is great to learn and absorb. So
cool. Yeah, and we wanted to design it so that you can go as deep down the rabbit hole as you want, so to speak, right? If you want to explore things further, you can get into the farming aspects and lock liquidity. If you just want to play with the utility aspect, you could just have magic or dark magic, and you can do things, you can not do things. You could just go, we can dive into it a little bit, but you can just get an NFT and enjoy that. There's so many different
I definitely
aspects.
want to get into the NFTs, because I actually really like, I was looking at this page while you were talking earlier, and I was just like, these eggs were flashing at me. So so yeah, I definitely want to get, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, there seems like this ecosystem, which is when I think about utility for projects, etc., it's kind of like you have the whole gamut of crypto users. I'm very new. I'm newer-ish to this space, but I know there's a lot of people out there who are been looking for these type of things, but something for everyone, which I think is great. So maybe you could talk a little bit about these NFT. What am I looking at? I see different choices here.
So you are looking at dragon eggs. We wanted to do something a little different, and we wanted to create an entire storyline around the ecosystem. So if you like storylines kind of in the Dungeons and Dragons kind of written aspect, you can hop into our Medium articles and kind of read through that. And there's lots of hints and riddles to effectively what we're trying to build. But the NFTs there are dragon eggs. And there's 3 different types of, well, we could say breeds, if you will, but we haven't actually gotten too much into that. And there's a little hint toward the bottom that mentions that you can get dragon eggs for, it's a little bit, right down there, for collecting, boosting, trading, or hatching, which is a little bit of a hint as to what some of these things could do. We have
got it.
So it's going to get pretty fun, especially with that last word there. But at the same time, I mentioned that I'm a huge advocate of utility. It kind of drives me nuts when there's a token for the sake of a token that doesn't do anything. It's just there.
Agreed. Yes, agreed.
So we want to make sure that when we create something, there's always a purpose, right? So you can actually, you could actually get a dragon egg, and you can spend it by boosting your yield on a staking pool. So if you want to just get a multiplier to get more yield, you can do that. If you want to see what's happening with hatching, you can do that. Or frankly, we have an in-house graphic design team that's, I mean, I think they're amazing, and I hope you do too by taking a look at the graphics
Yes,
on the
definitely.
website.
I wanted to say that. I didn't want to jump. You were talking the technical piece, but for me, I love art, and I'm a big like I love NFTs. I love artwork. I'm a big collector. So I wanted to talk. You could talk about tech stuff all day. I could be talking about how beautiful something looks. And I was gonna say you need to get me in contact with your artist. I don't need art for anything, but just so I could talk to them and pick their brain. But amazing
I can
stuff.
do that.
Amazing
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of nerd out on the tech stuff, but then every now and then I'm like, I just, his team blows me away with like what
Yeah.
they do and what they can come up with. And some of the things that have been created that we haven't released yet. I mean, it boggles my mind how like skilled they are, if that makes sense.
I read a lot of fantasy novels and things like that, King Killer Chronicles, things like that. This artwork reminds me of like the artwork, especially like your homepage, the artwork that you would see from like one of those like super popular fantasy novels, which I think is amazing. So.
Oh, cool. Well, you'll love the Medium articles then that we have like the tales of the dragon eggs, and you can kind of read about the adventure of a girl who discovers these eggs and stuff like that. It'll be
I
you'll
apologize
enjoy
for
the
my
reads.
community where I'm supposed to be showing you guys what we're talking about, but I end up just scrolling through everything on your Medium article because I'm just super curious myself about all this stuff. So I apologize if I'm just randomly browsing because I'm super interested in all these things and like, yeah, the different storylines, etc. But again, not only are you thinking about the tokenomics and all the intricacies of the ecosystem platform, but you have a whole team that's devoted to the IP, you could say. So it's awesome. But sorry, I interrupted you. The eggs, there's got it. But yeah. So it says here like, so this one, it looks like this one is just like sold out for, so I guess the purple the purple one was probably the most popular. And is there a reason for that? Is there or was that maybe the first available?
It was, yeah, I mean, it was the first available, and the pricing were based off of the rarity. So I think everybody kind of hopped into that. That sold out a little while ago, and it's been once that one sold out, things have slowly been creeping to that sold out on everything.
Yeah.
The mint on these was low intentionally, basically because we're in the technical release stage of things. We're just now starting to talk about the project, but anyone who's participating in it early, I mean, we make it more interesting for people, right? Have lower mints, better deals, things like that, just to make it more fun. But one of the other things that you just scrolled to at the bottom, where you see the liquidity generation system,
Yeah.
this is a system that was built behind the NFTs. And that when you buy an NFT, right, for any, whatever reason you may have to have the NFT, the funds used to buy the NFT actually generate liquidity in the ecosystem. So when you buy an NFT, you're gaining that value right back by building liquidity for the whole system. And in the process of that liquidity generation, it's burning tokens. It's fun what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, so it's more like I said, every single thing that you mentioned, it's always like there's something on the surface, and then something happens where it just the back. I'm referencing all the things. Like there's something that happened. Again, my knowledge. I'm gonna keep saying this again. My knowledge things, but something happened when you purchase NFT. This things happen in the background which affect the whole entire, which is amazing. That's the only word that I can think of. And again, a lot of thought and effort into it.
Thank you.
Cool. So like, and I'm sorry, I'm just browsing through your site. So like the Zapper, I guess, is where you do the exchanging. And then I guess some of these things are still, this is like the staking of everything, right? This is obviously the Nightbane Drax you talked about. And then this is like the pools, right?
Yeah, these are the staking pools for the Polygon ecosystem right now. So you can stake to get percentages.
Got it. And then I think I heard.
And then
that,
if you open, if
oh,
you
go
were
ahead.
to open one, just so you can open one of the staking pools, what I mentioned about the boosting will make more sense. The little drop down arrow.
Yeah, I hope the Drax, is it the Drax Vault, the Nightbane?
Any of the top three will make
so
more
the top
sense.
three. Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
God, I'm looking at Nightbane right now. Oh, okay, I see. If you got it, like 10% boost with the amethyst one, or the BOAM. What then? It seems like the green the green egg has the biggest boost. That's 40% boost. So what is there a reason? Like again, for me, after this, I'm gonna ask you which egg should I buy, to be honest.
Well,
But
there's
then
so I can give you I can give you one hint that there's mention of something emerald in the storyline when talking about.
got it.
So there's a little bit of a hint on that, and then also it's just more rare. It's going to be a more rare system, and it will make sense in time because every single thing that's currently built is just a base layer, and we're not adding more. We're adding more utility, if that makes sense, on top of this. So,
Yes.
for example, there's well, I'll only mention two right now that are near completion. There's two DeFi NFT game systems that are nearing completion that we're developing, and both of these will incorporate dragon eggs. And as you can imagine, they're going to incorporate these. So these dragon eggs will not just have utility in DeFi Magic, but they're going to have utility in other ecosystems as well.
Yes. Okay, yeah, multiple questions. And I think you explained it very well. I think layers is a good term for this project because of the fact, yeah, like you could, this whole entire ecosystem, you see the top where NFTs and the staking, but beyond that, there's so much, layers. And then every layer has X, like tons and tons of utility on it. Very interesting. And so maybe you could talk about, I guess, the additional utilities with like other projects. I think you mentioned like you're working with other partners. Again, I also don't want you to, I was clicking around the cauldron, you say like, oh, working with experimental projects and partnerships. I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble about like saying things before it's too soon. But if you would like to tell me and share it, I would love to hear it.
Sure. So I can dive a little bit into it. I try to be a little bit tight-lipped on things that aren't out, mostly because, it's crypto is a fast-paced moving ecosystem, or a whole thing, right? The industry changes. So, we adapt. We don't just, we made the project, the entire crypto industry changed, let's move to the next project. No, we don't. We build on what we're doing. So if I say something today and the entire crypto world changes, we're going to slightly adjust what we're doing to match it, but still work with what we're doing, if that makes sense. So that's part of the whole like upgradability. But to dive into, I guess, a couple things, there's a few projects I can think of that are pretty imminent. There's one project coming up called Pi that we're working with and developing. This is one where if you ever have like an NFT and it's just sitting in your wallet and you're just, okay, this is a cool NFT, but it's not doing anything. It's not making me money or anything. Pi is going to create the first ecosystem where you can deposit your NFT into their ecosystem and get a return for the NFT. And there's no catch.
Interesting. Yeah. Definitely, that's
so
me. You just described me. I have a bunch of NFTs just sitting there. So yes, got it. Okay.
So if you can make money off of your NFT, why not, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So that's one that's coming out, and that's going to be pretty neat. There's a MMORPG DeFi game coming out called DeFi Dungeon. That's going to be that's pretty elaborate. That one that's coming out, and it's going to create we could spend a whole time talking about that one, but basically changing the way that NFTs work in gaming and how the whole like play to earn system works. It's going to revolutionize that to make it easier. So you can play to earn, you can have NFTs to earn, you can do practically nothing after you like get into the ecosystem and then earn. Where, for example, there might be a kingdom, right? Like in a game, and if you own a piece of the kingdom, you don't have to play the game, but things that go on in the kingdom make you money and stuff like that are kind of pretty interesting. So that's going to be a fun one coming out pretty soon.
I could definitely talk about MMOs for the next hour if you want to. I'm perfectly fine. I gotta book you for another hour to do that. But yeah, definitely I'm into World of Warcraft and waiting for Amazon's new game, New World. So yeah, like
you're gonna love this.
So like I always thought, and I always tell my friends, I'm always trying to get them into like the crypto space, things like that. And there isn't enough. I mean, there isn't a lot of crypto, especially play to earn games. And why don't they? We were always thinking like, why don't they come up with an MMORPG? And so definitely gonna keep my eye on that. So And so, sorry, just one question. I promise not to.
Sure.
So DeFi Dungeon is like a separate project from DeFi Magic, but you're obviously partnering with them and powering the, I guess, is that the right word? Like powering their like ecosystem, like with the tokens, or like how would you best like describe that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to describe it. It's part of the whole symbiotic utility, like cross-project utility. So
Yeah.
instead of, it's like divided we fall, together, stand together, we win, we succeed, we work together. So the idea is not just building out another project, but working together and creating cross ecosystem utility and ongoing development and sustainability. So it is a separate project. However, there's symbiotic relationships between the two, if that makes sense. And as users of the ecosystems, you gain value, benefits, and advantages. So like Magic and Dark Magic, right? Dark Magic on Polygon, Magic on BSC, Binance Smart Chain, will be able to be not only just used, but give you very specific advantages in that game system.
Got it. So there wouldn't be, yeah, and you were kind of like explaining it earlier where, see, I picked up on some stuff. Like Drax and Nightbane was, could potentially, because they're wrapped, they could, their name, they're essentially, they could power another project just by that. So would this DeFi dungeon, for example, have like a new different type of token, or are you just gonna have these ones powering it, or like,
it would be
has it
its
not been
own,
decided
it would be
yet?
its own, it would be its own project, its own system. However, our tokens here could be used in that system, including the dragon eggs, by the way, as well. So these tokens can be used in that ecosystem. And this fits back into the statement about token utility burning. So every time, like, so let's say a user of DeFi Dungeon who has never heard of DeFi Magic, but they came in to play a MMORPG.
Yeah, got it.
They want to get I know I'm just picking something arbitrary here, but like in a random thing, but like they want to buy a piece of land, or they want to get a certain piece of armor, who knows what. They may end up utilizing, they may spend MATIC to do it, but because of the way the system's designed, that MATIC may travel through the dark magic token. And because it's traveling through the dark magic token, there's transferring of dark magic occurring, which results in token burning and reallocation of assets that then can be used as like staking yields for the community of DeFi Magic. To the user, they just bought their piece of armor. They got what they wanted. But to the ecosystem and the community and the people who are involved in DeFi Magic and the token layers of this are gaining value from every single interaction somebody does.
Got it. It's all making sense to me. I mean, probably my community got this like 15 minutes ago. I'm a little slow today. I apologize. No, but that makes total sense. And I think the idea of obviously utility, where a lot of projects out there, you hope that their project owners are as determined and as passionate about you, like building up utility, but most likely they're not. But for you, it's like, I'm constantly building these layers of utility and continually push these partnerships. And, once you make that, available and work with those partnerships, it's up to them to help, maybe there's other people pushing your utility as well. And it all goes back to the start of it, the initial, which is dark magic or magic. Yeah, so got it. Okay, I'm with you now. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. Again, I'm trying to develop a strategy for myself too on like, I got to jump into this and like see how's the best, yeah, I guess like that's probably a question. Like, yeah, I guess you would, if you just jump in and just buy dark magic, right? Like, is that, and then, yeah, I guess, sorry if it's a super broad question.
Well, sure. So I never tell anyone how to trade, right?
Yes,
so that's
yeah. No, not we always me either. This is not financial advice. It's not financial advice. Yes.
So look, like it depends on what your thing is, right? There's something, like I said before, there's something for everyone. You don't have to do one specific thing, but to make it in a more broad spectrum, right? You can just simply have dark magic token or magic token, which is coming out tomorrow, and we can dive into that if you want. But basically, the tokens are the utility tokens. You can have them and you can use them, right? As things come out, you can participate in other ecosystems. There's different things to do. And there's also a single asset staking pool where you can just stake your dark magic token and get more dark magic tokens.
Right.
The Drax and Nightbane, I think the easiest way, if you to skip over the technical side of it, think of them as farming tokens. If you want to farm and yield higher rates of other tokens like dark magic, and soon there'll be some more things coming out and as time goes on. But basically, you can get Drax and farm and stake and get yield on that. And those are basically like your farming tokens, right? And then the NFTs, if you're into artwork or like the actual or the game side, right? Like maybe you actually want a dragon sometime. Okay, you might want to pick up an egg before they're sold out, right? So there's kind of different things for everybody and what they're kind of into.
Got it. So this is my strategy, and you don't have to say yes, no thumbs up or thumbs down. But what I'm gonna do is, I guess I'm gonna buy some dark magic, but I'm also gonna buy this egg right here. This, I guess, this green one, because it has a 40% boost, and that seems like that's like that seems good to have if I'm staking. So okay, got it. And then hopefully my dragon, this is my words, not yours. Hopefully my dragon egg hatches, has special powers. I can ride it in the next game that I play. Got it. Perfect. Yep. Possibilities are endless. Yes. Got it.
Well, that would be so the one thing I want to mention that is that if you were going to do the boosting is like sacrificing the egg. So it's part of the whole choose your own.
You have to give
exactly.
Okay.
So you kind of have to choose what path you'd want. Now, naturally, of course, you could get 2 eggs, but that's part of the gamification of scarcity, right? So if you want to boost and get 40%, and just to explain boosting really quick, it's basically if you have $100 in a staking farm, right, and you do a 40% boost, you're getting a yield as if you have $140, even though you only have 100 in, and it's scalable, whether it be 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. $100,000 with a 40% boost is as if you have $140,000 in.
Got it.
So it's kind of neat how that system works.
I wish I would have known about this like a week ago or whenever these sold, because now I'm like, man, these eggs, there's this sold out egg is making me like nervous that like, did I miss out on something really great? So you're saying, but it's okay. I'll settle for the other ones. And so you're like within the circulation. Obviously, I think you guys are having more and more coming in the future, etc. So cool. But yeah,
and there's also I think some people have them on OpenSea. I'd have to check.
Interesting. Right. So there's that whole obviously like NFT market and like reselling. And again, like when people find out what this egg is for if it's So cool. Now that's like a super interesting model and things like that. Yeah. Again, a lot of different layers to this. But I think it's awesome. Did you want to talk about, I know, so like what's upcoming in the roadmap? I kind of asked this question to like everyone, and it's just, I know this is gonna be hard for you because I know you're excited about a lot of things. Like what's the most exciting for you coming in the next coming weeks? I know the Binance Smart Chain portion is coming out real soon, but is there anything else that you're like super excited about? This artwork is great. I gotta get some of this. But yeah, anything super like that you want my community to know that's coming in the near future that they should keep their eye on?
Well, Magic on Binance Smart Chain is literally launching tomorrow. So that's like on the tip of my mind. So that one is that's actually I'm trying to think about how to say this, but like I got tired of seeing how like bot snipers come in and kind of mess up the people's launches and things like that. And you ever try to like buy into a launch and then your transaction fails because somebody scooped up a bunch just to dump on you. So we came up with this unique system that is impossible for a bot sniper to defeat. And there's a Medium article explanation, so I won't dive into too much of it here if you want to kind of read on it sometime. But that's
they
coming
say
out tomorrow.
It's definitely in depth. They say it's 9 minutes. I for me that's maybe 90 minutes, but no, very technical, very. Again, I haven't met anyone this passionate and this in detail as you are. I just have to say that. So I think everything that you're saying is awesome. Sorry, I interrupted you there, but I did want to give you.
Thank you. This is like my dream, my life's work here. So forgive me if I get too long-winded on it, but it's just this is like I love this. This is what
I'm
I
never gonna like downplay anyone's passion for something. So I think this is all awesome. So keep going, please. I apologize for interrupting you.
No, it's fine. The only other thing that I can't say what it is yet because I'm
Sure.
just finishing it, but I kind of woke up last week and had an epiphany on solving a major issue in another ecosystem that had been plaguing me for a while because I don't want to sound too ominous about I don't know, I'm trying to think of the right word, but basically there was a problem in another ecosystem. It's been plaguing me for a while. And I know that people, there was a project, there was an exploit, there was millions and millions of dollars that were basically stuck in an illiquid market. And it just bothered me because I did the math on it, and somebody who had like a couple $100,000, it would take them literally 100 days working 24 hours a day to get their money back in the system if they were going to do it manually. And it occurred to me that I could build a coded system to solve the problem, and it works, and I'm excited about it. So I'm in the final stages of tweaking it, and this ties into the cauldron, where I wanted to just have a place where we could freely come up with experimental ideas that make the world a better place and
Ah,
more fun and interesting. So it could be literally anything, but it's like a safe experimental place, if that makes sense. So
that's what a
this is
cauldron is. That's yeah. It's a mix of stuff, ideas, and then seeing what potion or whatever comes out of it, and see if it's useful and if helpful. Yeah. So so I was gonna say, like, what is your title? Is it like problems developer, problem solver, like which one of those? But no, but that makes a lot of
probably a
sense, and I think like it's
mechanical,
great. Yeah.
probably mechanical designer. Like I'm not a Solidity coder, but I design ecosystems. I like come up with the unique situations. I'll often say, like, one of the best types of things you can do is take two really good ideas, combine them, put a twist on it, and then make it go to a whole different level as a result.
Got it. Got it. No, and I mean it's great. Like again, I keep saying like I'm like newer to the crypto space and things like that. And it's great that I mean there's a lot of problems that I see from getting in, and I probably you see a lot more because you're in the dev space. But like yeah, like there's so much room for improvement, and like it's great that you're thinking about all these things and not just trying to like do things and improve your project and get rich, but it's like you're trying to improve and help other projects, help take your technology and like just improve everything as a whole, which I think is definitely needed. And I think obviously, and you hinted on it, like safety and security is probably number one, especially in the crypto space, that's important to users. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, absolutely. I'm completely with you. I want to prove that you can build something truly unique and just have a really great time, not just like basically, of course, everyone wants to make money, right? So make money, but have fun while you're doing it and build something that truly makes like the whole crypto space better and just kind of working together. And and I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit of a dream, but mathematically, like this system, like this works, this doesn't, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, you said you have like a whole slew of developers. There's already like the thought has been put out and it's been there. Like everything is in the works. Like, again, I hear a lot about projects that like want to do something. And I think I listened to your like other interview that you did with like Be Social, and I'll put a link in the description for that. And I think you said something, and I'm gonna botch your wording or something like that, but you said something along the lines of people always say that they're going to build something, but you just rather like build something and then show it off to people rather than people saying, yeah, I'm going to be building this marketplace or the ecosystem in the future once you get your money. But you're like, nope, let me just build it and then show it to you guys when I'm done. And then you guys could decide if it's something that you guys want to be interested in. So that kind of
Yeah,
resonated
that's
with me.
no, well, thank you. Yeah, it's just, I mean, anybody can hype something that doesn't exist, right? I mean, it's selling vaporware, if you will, right? I mean, that's, and I get it. I understand the intricacies and the desire of that, but like to me, it's just why sell the idea of something? Why not just do it? Here it is. Like if you like it, great. And then guess what? That's not it. We're going to continue to put more and more and more out. So if you like what you see, come join. And if you're, not ready yet, no big deal. You'll see the next thing, and then you'll say, hey, wait a minute, maybe I would have wanted to join in the last thing. And we'll just keep rolling out more and more and more stuff, which is why you don't see a roadmap, because we want to.
Yeah. I don't see a roadmap. That's right. Yeah.
Nope, no roadmap.
Yeah. It's because
We're
it's
gonna
just
build
like,
it.
yeah, we're just doing stuff and then we'll release it and then you guys could have it.
You're just
That's,
gonna.
yeah,
You're
I
just
think that's
gonna.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just we want to be different. We want to show that you can make a really amazing ecosystem, working with partners and great people who want to build something their own and just work together and just put out the projects and just dive into it and then just show it, because that way it's not just, oh, here's another project. It's, hey, here is the products. This is it. And then here's the next one and the next one and so on. And they all work together, which is the really fun part. And I really, it's not out yet, but when we connect, I look at this as kind of like making a giant jigsaw puzzle, and every little part we release is one piece. And I'd mentioned that the system is designed around greed. We haven't released the coded parts that like plug that in, and I'm very excited to see what happens when the first major coded product we have that like tugs at that kicks on, because it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
I know you said no roadmap, but I'm asking anyways. When does that come? When do you think that's coming? Like, are we talking
I never
weeks,
get,
months? Okay, got it.
I don't, what? Dates, the one thing you can do with a date is you can miss it.
Nice.
So
no, that's good.
I
And I think it's good. Like I also have a gaming background space where it's like, background in the gaming space, where it's like, yeah, like I forgot what game company says it, but the game, maybe Blizzard said this, but like the game is ready when it's done, like it will come out when it's done, right? Like you don't want to rush things. You want to think it's just like whenever you feel like it's in the best, that's when it's going on. So, and I think, and it's a good mentality. First, now it's like, if you're just trying to rush things to get investors or reach like a launch date, arbitrary launch date for marketing purposes, et cetera, it's like you're building quality things. And I think it's a good mentality to have. So.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, the whole point here is about sustainability and symbiotic relationships. If you give a date and it's not quite ready for whatever reason, right? I mean, you don't just release it because you said you're going to release it. You make sure that the timing is right, so it helps the community and our partners the absolute best. And that's the focus here, is what will help and make this whole ecosystem more valuable. And that's when you release it, when you know that that's going to happen. And that's the entire focus. So we have quite a few products that are coded and fully ready. I mean, it's just, it's not the right time to come out. We're going to release Magic on BSC next, and we're going to release, there's a couple other things that are in the lineup. And when they come out, then we'll relook at where things are and then see, okay, is it time, right? And we just keep going from there.
So where is the best place to learn about all these things, or like announcements and things like that? So your Twitter, is that the best place, like the most up-to-date information? Obviously, I'll link the Telegram too. I'm sure there's a lot of people talking about there, but yeah, I guess if we follow your Twitter, we should be able to get all these announcements, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, so from the quickest announcement would be Twitter. If you want to dive into like the stories and more of the technical stuff, definitely look at the Medium. That's where most of that stuff is right now. And then if you want to ask questions and frankly talk to me directly, Telegram's the place to be. So I would suggest Twitter to follow the announcements, Medium to kind of read and learn about the project, and then Telegram, because that's where you can talk to the community members. There's a lot to digest, I mean, to be real. So I mean,
yeah. I mean, a lot of good stuff, like, like there's not like other projects, like they say like, oh, there's like a lot of fluff around here, but everything is here is like very in sync with each other. And like even like the story, obviously it like ties into like the NFTs, which ties into like everything is like makes sense, and there's no like extra things that aren't unneeded. I think it's all good. If I probably said that a lot, but definitely these are good reads, especially if you want to take a deeper dive into like this, introduce like the Dragon 8 NFTs. I'm gonna read this and make an educated decision after this. But no, I think I'm super excited about this project. It's no surprise, I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna buy some. I don't know where I start. Dragon eggs, I'll ask you later. But yeah, I appreciate you taking the time and talking about. I definitely want to talk to you again in the future, get some updates, learn more about everything going on. I assume the next time, maybe in a couple of weeks, this project will have 100 other layers. Hopefully you're getting enough sleep, etc. But I don't know if there's anything last minute you wanted to say to the community or mention.
No, I mean, I think that was great. I appreciate your time, and I'd love to talk to you again. I think the main thing is, ask questions. Come into the Telegram. I'm there. Some of the other developers are there. We have great great community members who'll be happy to support and help where we can. It's a complex ecosystem, but there's something for everyone. From if you want to just go to the top layer and just park there, that's fine, and we can help with that. If you want to dive down the rabbit hole, let's do it. Like this is not a hype train Telegram chat. This is a technical one, in the sense of, if you want help on where to go, what to do, if you want to just speculate in terms of conversation of where things are going to go and what you can do. It's about having fun, right? And helping each other. So come join the Telegram and hang out and ask questions and join in. And there's some riddles in the Medium stories. So if you like reading stories, come guess. I'm very curious if people can figure out what's to come.
Need some audio, but those, not to say I like reading, but sometimes especially with this story, if I can get an audiobook would be great. But I'll definitely take a look. Definitely got to read this one. I was in the Telegram yesterday, and yeah, a lot of people are excited about this project. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I'll definitely look into more about the dragon eggs, etc. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate you guys sticking with us and kind of going through all these things. I'll put a link in the description for the Medium, the website, Twitter, Telegram, all these things. And Leaf, thanks. I appreciate you joining me today. Definitely have to catch up in the near future about everything going on with DeFi Magic. So I appreciate you taking the time today.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Catch you guys later.